to scorch his works onto canvas. Sai always produces his works with a large team of helpers. Sai has also produced a number of memorable outdoor performances. In 1999, he was awarded with the Golden Lion from the Venice Biennale, the most prestigious prize in contemporary art. Sai is still greatly attached to Iwaki, which he considers his second home. When he was struggling as an unknown artist, the local people in Iwaki volunteered to help him produce his works. Friendship can cross national boundaries. Sai is still close to many friends in the city. Following the Great East Japan earthquake in 2011, Sai was quick to get in touch with his friends in Iwaki.
I found out that everyone had to evacuate. So I decided to send them some money.
Now, Sai is involved in a project for the reconstruction of Iwaki, started by some of his friends. The Cherry Tree Project aims to plant 100,000 cherry trees in the hills around the city.
I can see the cherry trees. Those small trees on the ridge.
The people of Iwaki supported Sai, and now he feels it's time to give something back. We look at Sai's involvement in the project, which is the result of his 25 years of friendship with the people of Iwaki. Iwaki in Fukushima faces the Pacific Ocean. The city was badly affected by the tsunami and the nuclear disaster that followed the 2011 earthquake. After the disaster, locals started the Cherry Blossom Project. This is the project team's office. Sai is visiting for the second time.
You know, it's important to have a pair of snug-fitting boots.
Tadashige Shiga, who manages a company selling automobile components, is the project leader. Shiga has continually supported Sai's work in Iwaki for more than 20 years.
Hello. How's it going?
It's so hot today. I'm thinking about old times as I cut the grass.
Are you okay?
Fine, thank you.
Have you lost weight?
Maybe.
Sai has been friends with these people for many years.
Shinagawa-san, it's been a while.
Hello.
You seem to be working here every day.
No, not always. I'm pleased to see you.
I'm pleased to see you too.
The Cherry Blossom Project began soon after the disaster in May 2011. With the agreement of the local landowners, the project members have already planted around 1,500 young trees. The project is funded by donations from local residents and companies.
That's a good deep hole. Oh, wait a minute. It would look better this way around. Planting trees is just time making art.
You have to let your work grow.
That's right.
Cherry blossoms have a symbolic importance for Japanese people. Since long ago, the cherry blossom has always been the quintessential Japanese flower. The blossoms start to fall soon after they bloom, they are a symbol of the joy of life and its fleeting nature. Cherry blossoms are often considered a nostalgic flower, and the project team wants to plant them throughout the town.
I felt my hometown was gradually becoming, how should I put it, increasingly unattractive. It was starting to feel lonely here. That's why we decided to make this city the world's most famous place for viewing cherry blossoms, so that many people would come to visit.
I think that by planting lots of beautiful cherry trees, people are expressing their regret at what happened. But they are also showing how they still love their hometown and how they are determined to rebuild this beautiful town with their own hands.
The signs on each tree display a message from their respective donors. Getting our lives back to normal, a future for our children. I hope we can live together again. I want to see my friends. Sai has also left a message. The spirit of Iwaki is everlasting.
What exactly is the spirit of Iwaki? I've been asked to describe the spirit of Iwaki. Well, it can the Iwaki, not giving up.
Sai is not only supporting the project financially, he's also lending his design skills.
What is this?
Tree.
The stump here. Then you can sit here, and a lady can sit there.
We could look at the view together.
Well, let's try it out. Shiga-san.
Is this a date or something? The seats are pretty close. I'm a bit embarrassed.
This would be good for a couple.
As an artist, Sai tries to conceive an overall picture of the project. He thinks about where on the hillside the trees should be planted and where the pathways should wind through the trees. The hard work of planting the trees is down to a large band of volunteers. Not all of the volunteers are local, and some have come from as far away as the Kansai region in western Japan.
When all the cherry trees bloom, it will look very beautiful. Perhaps it will give some encouragement to survivors of the disaster, so why not? I can only do a little bit to help, but I want to try and do what I can.
I want to look after the cherry trees and make it all look beautiful. Once the hillside is full of cherry blossoms, I want to be able to say to my children that one of the trees is mine.
Some of the volunteers used to work at the nuclear power plant in Fukushima before the 2011 accident.
I didn't have any energy, or strength, or motivation. I lost all my motivation. I thought I wouldn't even care if I died. But as I worked on the slopes, cutting the grass, I have felt my energy coming back to me, and I have regained my strength. At my age, I don't exactly have any dreams, but I look forward to working here every day. I enjoy it.
Iwaki is approximately 45 kilometers away from the damaged nuclear power plant.
This is rubble from the disaster that still hasn't been cleared away.
That's incredible.
Radiation levels in Iwaki are lower than other areas of the prefecture, And after the disaster, many evacuees came to settle in the city. However, following the detection of radiation in excess of Japan's safety limits in some locally caught fish, all local fishing has been suspended. Onahama Port used to land an extremely large volume of fish. Sai, who grew up in a Chinese port town, regularly used to visit.
I remember coming to this restaurant before the disaster.
One of Sai's favourite restaurants was damaged by the tsunami and only reopened in February 2012.
Sorry to keep you waiting. This is our grilled mackerel meal.
Oh, it looks great. I used to eat over there and have the sea urchin on rice. The serving was always very generous.
That was more than 20 years ago.
Yes, 20 years ago. I often worked around here. Is this locally caught fish? No?
No, I don't think it's from Iwaki. No, we have radiation problems. This is shipped in from places like Aomori.
It must be very difficult to sell local produce from around here. With people talking about radiation, it must be hard to sell anything.
Sai takes the opportunity to visit another one of his old haunts. Sai first came to Japan in 1986 at the age of 29. Having studied performing arts in Shanghai, he was seeking artistic inspiration. A Japanese friend of his father's helped him settle in. Sai began finding his feet in Japan, but says that at first Tokyo's galleries wouldn't give him the time of day. As he was struggling for recognition, Sai had a chance meeting with a gallery owner from Iwaki, which led to his in the city.
The garden was right here.
I remember this field. We planted chrysanthemums together.
During his stay in Japan, Sai spent much of his time at a rented house on this spot, high above the sea, where he worked feverishly on his art. Sai gained in confidence as the people of Iwaki started to buy some of his works. Eventually, he won the opportunity to hold an exhibition of his works at a public art gallery. By then, he'd been in Japan more than 7 years. Many of the local people who had had no previous involvement in contemporary art were impressed by the scale of Sai's works and gave their time to help prepare for the exhibition. Locals formed an organising committee and, amid financial difficulties, a cumulative total of 500 people lent their time to the exhibition. One of the volunteers was Chuhei Fujita. He's the gallery owner who invited Sai to Iwaki. He says that Sai's gunpowder art formed a deep impression on him.
Don't you think this is extremely beautiful? Everyone who has viewed this has asked whether it was painted in ink or painted in oils. It looks like an abstract painting, and it can represent many things, such as a flower, for example. This is only a small picture, but I think it represents all of Sai's artistic sensibility. I really love this work. I treasure it as a symbol of various memories we have shared, and to me, it's quite invaluable.
Shiga says that Sai helped the people of Iwaki discover enjoyment in art.
Contemporary art can be quite difficult to understand. I remember saying to Sai that it would be difficult for people to appreciate his work if he didn't express it in an easy-to-understand way. The next day, he wrote down what he was trying to achieve in the following 3 phrases. This is where I grow my work. This is where I communicate with the world around me. This is how I create a modern story, together with the local people.
In 2004, Sai and his friends from Iwaki began working on an enormous project. They salvaged a ship buried in the sand and reassembled it as a replica of a wooden fishing boat from 50 years ago. The work, which symbolizes rebirth, was well received by art critics around the world. Even now, when Sai holds exhibitions abroad, his friends from Iwaki go and help prepare the installations with him. Their long years of friendship have been a support for Sai's artistic career.
The difficulties I had in Japan were not just about my work. I was also extremely lonely. I will treasure the people who took me to their hearts for the rest of my life. They have always been very important to me. I'm sure they always will be. What's most important to me is reaching across borders to have dialogue with people, to try to find new possibilities, to see what cannot be seen yet. I want to try and find energy and strength.
Sai has held exhibitions around the world in many cities, including New York. At his next exhibition in Denmark, he wants to encourage visitors to get involved in the Cherry Tree Project.
I think people will be pleased to have a tree planted in their name here in Japan.
The problem is how to involve people. Firstly, we need to define the concept. Then we need to say what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. We need to think how to make it specific and important. If it doesn't feel important, people won't get involved. We also need to decide on the amount of money. We need to say this is one tree for you. We need to make it clear cut. We can't just say this is a project we're doing, so give us your money. We have to name a specific price people need to give for one tree.
The project began in Iwaki, but Sai hopes that people from around the world will get involved. It's September 2012. Recent events are worrying Sai and his friends from Iwaki. A group of uninhabited islands between Japan and China is causing diplomatic difficulties between the two countries. The situation has led to the cancellation of many cultural events. However, there's also some good news. Sai has been awarded the Premium Imperiale, a cultural prize granted by the Japan Art Association. Previous winners of the prestigious award include Japanese luminaries such as film director Akira Kurosawa and conductor Seiji Ozawa. Sai addressed the press following the award ceremony.
In China, we have a saying that goes, "Close neighbors are more important than far-off relatives." I think this describes the relationship between China and Japan. If we are able to learn from each other, support each other, and move close to each other, I think we can form a partnership that can create a global contribution.
Sai feels that cultural exchange is important in times of diplomatic strife. Sai decided to donate his prize money to the recovery of Iwaki. After the ceremony, Sai headed back to Iwaki. Since becoming involved in the project, Sai can identify with the important role of the cherry blossoms in the reconstruction process. He wants as many people as possible to enjoy the flowers and begins to think about how he can help the project succeed. Sai has an idea, and he decides to consult Shiga.
What are you going to do here?
It's just a field.
We could build an exhibition room here, a gallery. Chinese gardens have galleries. We could build one, install lighting, and display artworks. We are surrounded by cherry trees on the hillside. We could make an art map that people could use to go and find their cherry tree.
I think it would be fun for people to walk around here using the map.
The cherry tree project has been energized by Sai's receipt of the Premium Imperiale and is attracting an increasing number of volunteers.
I hope many young people will come to participate.
I hope so too.
If so, we could plant 100,000 trees. Thanks for your help. It's a long project, so don't go too fast.
Donations and messages for the project arrived from Denmark after the exhibition.
That's really cute. We should call this area the Danish Hill.
The Danish Hill?
Don't you think it's really something?
The Danish Hill, why not?
I'm delighted. People around the world are sending their goodwill to us.
Even this young tree will produce small flowers in the spring. The project members hold a party to celebrate Sai's award.
Sai-san, congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much.
Take a picture?
Can I give you a kiss?
Stop it.
Many of Sai's friends from Iwaki came to attend the party. Some of them bought Sai's work while he was still an unknown.
Whenever I hear news about Sai, I'm amazed how things have turned out for him. It's just a small work, but it's very valuable to me. I'm delighted to own it, and it's an asset to have.
Sai is talking to the curator of the local gallery, who was instrumental in organizing his first ever exhibition.
Since the disaster, while talking to various people, I feel that we really have to pool our strengths. As Sai's work is the result of people combining their strengths, I really hope he can create an environment, an atmosphere in which we can build new hopes and possibilities.
It takes 20 or 30 years for the cherry trees to become fully developed, so I hope to keep working on the project for at least another 20 years. And Sai, I hope that you'll continue to be involved.
Let's do the best we can and make sure that we live long lives.
Cheers!
The tree planting project has been underway for a year, and the project leader Shiga has high hopes for the project's future.
We're currently planting 1,600 trees on 12 different hills. Can you see the hills over there? We want to plant cherry blossoms all the way around.
That would be amazing if you could. If you plant 10,000 trees, you could create a good line of feng shui. If you plant 99,000, you could see them from space.
That's our goal.
It would be a great wall of cherry blossoms. Wouldn't that be wonderful? How many years will that take?
Maybe another 99 years.
99 years? Oh, that's okay. Our grandchildren will finish the project.
That's right. We can do that.
Okay.
One day, Iwaki will be swathed in cherry blossoms. The people have big dreams for the future of their town.